Good morning, everyone. Question. What if the doctor told you that one of your children would have an incurable chronic disease, that life as you once knew it would change? My name is Sonia Cage. I'm the mother of four. Out of my four children, two of them, my boys, are diabetic type 1. I wasn't ready for this assignment, nor was my family, but it was something that we were going to have to prepare for. We never quite understood diabetes mellitus. We never understood diabetes type 1. We never understood diabetes, juvenile diabetes. None of these made sense to us. They're all the same thing and have the same meaning. What I want to talk to you today about is in the incurable disease, the symptoms, the treatments, signs of the onset of diabetes, and the preventive methods that can be taken to help a diabetic survive. According to the World Journal of Diabetes, written in 2014, type 1 diabetes is a chronic disease, a chronic illness characterized by the body's inability to produce insulin due to the autoimmune destruction of the beta cells in the pancreas. Although onset frequently occurs in childhood, this disease can be developed in adulthood. Let's break it down just a little bit into layman's terms so we can all understand. What happens is the pancreas in a type 1 diabetic isn't able to break down sugars like a person who has a healthy pancreas. Therefore, the sugars float in the body because it can't move anywhere. It doesn't have anywhere to go, so it'll go into their muscles. It's just traveling through the bloodstreams because it can't be broken down into energy. This can cause hyperglycemia reaction, which is high blood sugars. We're not going to discuss so much the hyper and hypoglycemia, but we are going to discuss some of the symptoms to be watchful for in the case that a family member, a relative, or a friend may have signs of this type of disease. Increased thirst, they'll be drinking a lot. Frequent urination, bedwetting in children who are not normally bedwetters. Unintended weight loss, irritability and mood changes, fatigue, blurred vision. All these can be symptoms of this diabetes type 1. The one thing I did notice with both of my boys was the increased thirst, the unintended weight loss. I recall my oldest son, I was getting him ready for a bath and I removed his shirt. And when I removed his shirt, I noticed that his stomach on the sides had caved in. Just like if you were deflating a football or basketball, it just totally went in. I said, this doesn't look right, something is wrong. Of course, we immediately, me and my husband, prepared our children and we all went to the hospital to be told that he was diagnosed with this chronic disease. Both my sons are very active when they were boys. They played football, they ran around, they did a lot of things that boys would do, so the frequent thirst did not really mean anything to me. I wasn't, worried about it, but I did become suspicious when my second boy, 4.5, now he's 9 years apart from his brother, started drinking out of the water faucet, just consistently, and I'm out of the water hose, and I'm like, Cameron, what's going on? What's going on? And I said, come here. I took his brother's meter, and I poked his finger, and I said, sure enough, as I suspected, he had high blood sugars. What is the role of insulin? This is basically the insulin produces and assists the breakdown of the pancreas. The Mayo Clinic states that once a significant number of islets cells are destroyed, you'll produce little or no insulin or hormones that come from the gland situated behind and below the stomach. What does that mean? Well, the pancreas secretes insulin to the bloodstream. Insulin circulates, allowing sugar to enter your cells. Insulin lowers the amount of sugar in your bloodstream. This is needed for a diabetic's survival. This isn't a disease that is complicated. This isn't a disease that you can't live without. But there are supplies that you can use to help maintain. We have here the Insulin, this is one that you can carry along. This is the finger poker that they use. This is the meter, and it also turns on to check the sugars. This is one meter. Then we have another meter with a harder case. Same thing, strips here, the meter. This is what they check their blood sugars with on a daily basis, maybe 3 to 6 times a day. This is a new device that has come out that my son does have, and it's called the Dexcom G6. And what this does is this allows him to know when his sugars are elevated or they're low. This is a good device. There's so many other devices that are coming out for a diabetic, juvenile type 1 and type 2, that it would be almost impossible for someone not to take really, really good care of themselves. So, with that being said, I hope I have given you enough information to let you be aware of some of the signs and the symptoms if a loved one or someone you know may have diabetes type 1 or diabetes type 2. You can check and follow up with your doctors if you have any concerns or worries. But for now, thank you very much and have a wonderful day. How many minutes were it?